Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the bold analysis. I am still doing this in the county of Siaya. This is Uyoma. We are finally here for the big project, our January project. I want to read for you a screenshot from Nation. A former politician known for deep pockets and litany of high-profile integrity-related cases is said to be plotting a comeback. The man who unsuccessfully tried to move base to another town is said to be giving the incumbent chills should he make up his mind. The populist politician is said to be seriously giving the thought of comeback consideration, and the rumors got rife when he made a recent public appearance in his characteristic style. Worse still, he said to be planning to join the opposition in a war against the incumbent. The man being described in that article by Nation is none other than Mike Mbuvi Sonko. Mike Sonko is making a comeback, and the speculation is rife that he is decamping from UDA to join the Azimio la Umoja. This is coming a month after also Waititu decamped from UDA to join Azimio la Umoja. In this podcast, I want to explain to Azimio la Umoja, Sonko is a red flag. And in fact, I will dive deep to explain what exactly is Sonko mission going to Azimio la Umoja. But before that, I want to start by first saying thank you. Thank you guys. Today I have really struggled, starting from I think late 27th, to ask you guys to support us in building our granny's house. Yes, today we are here, and you can hear from in my background, the construction is going on the other side. So fortunately, we were able to buy the 3 windows, the door, and settle the bill for the fundis and the other costs. And I want to say thank you to Dr. Evelyn Chepkelain or something. I think I remember Evelyn, for offering us, she just told me that she will deliver here some water pump, not water pump, is it tank, some water tank. Yes, and the part of it that are now remaining, which I just want to do, the last part of this project, is to plaster the floor. So plastering the floor, I just need I think close to 15 cement, and I think one pickup of mchanga, sand. Then we'll settle the fundi. That is the last bit of it, and I will close this fundraiser tomorrow so that we bring it tight and we finish up that part. We finish up with that, and we know that church will be happy. So kindly, for those who had already promised that they were going to send in, I think the last bit of it is just plastering the floor. I believe that when we can do that, I'll be able to get back to Nairobi before the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I'm saying Mike Sonko is a red flag is because of some 4 reasons. Raila Amolo Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka must understand there is a high possibility that Sonko is being dispatched in Azimio la Umoja as a Ruto spy, and is going to be a spy on Azimio. You know, you need to ask yourself some very first question. If Sonko is to vie, the person that will make Sonko vie in this country is William Ruto. The person that will help him navigate his those cases after the impeachment and the corruption cases, the engineer will be William Ruto. Now, if you see Sonko getting green light to vie in the next election, that will be under the prefectship of William Samoei Arap Ruto. And here is a man that you can see on many instances recording leaders, even in very uncomfortable places, releasing videos in social media, threatening people left, right, and center, especially when releases those videos. And is fond of doing it. And again, I remember last time when Kalonzo Musyoka was still hesitant as to whether he was going to support Raila or not. One man, Mike Movie Sonko, was on the other end pushing his way and saying, if Azimio were going to support Kalonzo, then he's going to stand on the Azimio Umoja side. So, Mike Sonko is a Ruto proxy. Mike Sonko is a Ruto proxy. I don't know how else to say it. And many people, I know that he brings in a package of popularity. He brings in Nairobi package because of a bit of his reign there and his style of leadership and his closeness with the youth. But that must be done carefully. I am telling you, Mike Sonko will be reporting to William Ruto at night. If will be inner circle, if he will be within the inner circle of this side. And in fact, can I tell you something? If he goes to Azimio and realizes that he's been relegated to the periphery, he will walk out in protest and deflate that has been chased. So that will already create some political punches. So I believe Raila and Kalonzo must understand that Mike Sonko, they need many additions, but I think one must be treated very careful. Let Sonko join the Wiper and be there first. That's the first mission, why I believe Raila and Kalonzo must be careful. Number two, Kalonzo could be out to break up Kalonzo. Sonko could actually be out to break out the friendship between Kalonzo and Uhuru Kenyatta, to bring that fallout. You know one thing, Mike Sonko to date believes that the person that engineered his political troubles was the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. And you can look at the cryptic messages that he was sending the former president, especially the time the former president was out, the time the former president was, during the former president Uhuru Kenyatta's birthday, he was sending some very cryptic messages to the former president. So there is one thing you cannot underestimate. There is one thing that you cannot underestimate on Mike Sonko's side, that Mike Sonko do not have a very soft spot for Uhuru Kenyatta. And by the virtue of him, of Kalonzo maybe getting entangled close to Mike Sonko, he would actually risk losing Uhuru Kenyatta. And if he loses Uhuru Kenyatta, then in terms of political financing, there's going to be a big headache. And that is why Kalonzo must choose which ghost. That fallout is simmering. Number three, why myself I'm looking at Kalonzo with a different eye. Kalonzo Musyoka mission to go to Azimio la Umoja is to force Kalonzo Musyoka candidature, facilitate and ensure that Kalonzo is the candidate. And I want to tell you why. In the last presidential election, before Kalonzo even decamped to Mombasa, before Sonko decamped to Mombasa, he was, at one point, was like he was going to vie in Machakos, then was also moving to Nairobi, relocating from Nairobi to Machakos. So he was waiting between Machakos and Mombasa, then he ultimately chose Mombasa, even though he tried Mombasa, but it backfired. And he realized that it is not very easy to get it up there, being that the Mombasa, I think the Mombasa political landscape is very different. And so, what then happened is that he pushed that let Kalonzo be the candidate. And he was saying that if Kalonzo was going to be the Azimio Umoja candidate, then he was going to support Kalonzo Musyoka. And there were the fellows that were pushing that Kalonzo should not just support Raila Odinga if he is not going to be the candidate, or at least if he is not going to be the running mate. And Kalonzo missed on the ticket for the first time since 2013, on the Kalonzo Raila ticket. Now, there is something going on, and I want to tell you. There is a high possibility of our Kalonzo ODM ticket. I'm using Kalonzo ODM ticket, very intentional here. Kalonzo ODM ticket is the situation where Kalonzo is the presidential candidate and ODM gives the running mate, which most probably is from the Western. I'm looking at the Oparanya, and I think I vouch for Oparanya. I don't vouch for DAP party leader Eugene Wamalwa. I don't vouch for him. He's more software and he's not been so much touch with the ground. If you compare his mobilization with that of Oparanya, then Oparanya stands a bigger chance. So I am seeing Kalonzo ODM ticket for 2027. Now, in any case, the political dynamics change and Azimio are forced to go back to the table and relook at that ticket in terms of a winning formula. Kalonzo Musyoka is going to push, Mike Sonko is going to push, it must be Kalonzo or Kalonzo. Why? I want to tell you this. William Ruto knows very well that part of his plan is that he must find a way he can grab power if he loses. And the reason why he would actually want Kalonzo, and no pun intended here, and I do not want to also demystify the personality of Kalonzo Musyoka. But if Kalonzo is the candidate and Ruto makes his way unceremoniously through to get there, then what do you expect? There is a high possibility that Kalonzo will go, Mike Sonko will go and tell Kalonzo Musyoka to surrender or rather give up on to William Ruto's side. So Mike Sonko is out on Kalonzo. And I can tell you that in any case, I know very well, Kalonzo said he wants to start doing his campaigns next year, which is something he really supports. I think that is something that most of us have been saying, that whoever wants to face William Ruto must start campaigning now, because William Ruto himself is already campaigning. So he might be sent there to fund Kalonzo. Actually, he might fund Kalonzo, get to Wiper, then, putting up structures to be maybe the Wiper candidate in Nairobi. After becoming the Wiper candidate in Nairobi, he uses through Wiper to finance Kalonzo Musyoka. After funding Kalonzo Musyoka, he becomes a critical asset to Kalonzo, then ensures that Kalonzo is in the ballot, whether it's putting up Azimio together or not. And remember, and there is one thing I still insist, that Kalonzo needs to be the candidate. I think I'm not drifting from that. But then he comes up with a long sword that if Azimio La Umoja are not going to be careful and they're not going to look at it, they're likely to fall into the William Ruto trap. So that is one thing where I really see Mike Sonko on it. Number 4, I want to debunk a narrative, or I want to look at the potential of Kalonzo, the potential of Mike Sonko delivering Sakaja re-election in 2027. In politics, there is no permanent enemies. And I know for sure that in the better part of 2023, Mike Sonko have been teaming up with the Embakasi East Member of Parliament, Babu Owino. And William Ruto has been a staunch supporter of Sakaja. He supported Sakaja. It is even believed that the person that ensured that Sakaja procured the certificate from Tim's University in Uganda, for him even to vie to be Nairobi governor, was William Ruto. Yes, the corridors, the talks in the corridors speculate more about Ruto's hand in Sakaja candidature. Now, Sakaja has fallen out with Rigathi Gachagua, and yes, Rigathi Gachagua may not want, and I think it's just something on tribal, some cheap tribal politics. But if you take Sonko would want to be the Nairobi governor. On the other end, you have a potential clean candidate in the name of Tim Wanyonyi. Then on the other hand, you have Uhuru Kenyatta in the background with the Jubilee Party that is also having a very good Kikuyu constituency and a bit of financial muscle to control the city politics. And so, tell me, how will Azimio manage Tim and Sonko? Sonko has been a governor. Tim was asked to drop last time in favor of Rigathi, and Rigathi could not deliver the seat. So what are you seeing? There is a big potential that he's coming to be a destabilizer and will not support team probably comes and says, I am not supporting team, it has to be done my way, I have to be the candidate. And in the long run, you will end up with Sakaja, Mike Sonko, and Tim Wanyonyi. Sakaja, if Sakaja remains on the other side himself, you know, Ruto can still dispatch Mike Sonko on the other side to vie on Wiper ticket, facilitated to vie on Wiper ticket, maybe promising that he's going to support him, but just want to do some divide and rule. And on the other end, in 2027, you will end up with Sakaja on UDA ticket, you will end up with Tim Wanyonyi or any other candidate on ODM ticket, then you end up with Mike Sonko on a Wiper ticket, and all of them are on the Azimio la Umoja side. That's how they shall have lost it. And so, I want to implore on Azimio la Umoja, they must be strategic. They must open their eyes wide open and interrogate. I know they have the political think tanks. They have the ability and the capability to interrogate. What exactly is Sonko bringing on board? What exactly is Sonko's mission? That needs to be understood. Even though one thing I know, I'm not against the spirit of consolidating or galvanizing support. But that aspect of galvanizing support, there is a shell that Mike Sonko should not be allowed to come in. He should bring in the political optics, the perceptional value of people decamping from the other end, and also the potential of Kalonzo Musyoka galvanizing the camp vote. He's very important for those optics. But again, it comes at some backstab. It comes at a cost. So everything has to be managed. And before it's laid on table, Azimio must agree on one or two things. And again, I'm wondering how Azimio would actually front a candidate to be a Nairobi governor, someone who was impeached on corruption-related cases. I know that Sonko is popular, I understand, yes. But that ticket might not be easy to sell against maybe others, and I'm not saying the others are the best, especially in the respect to the fact that I don't know how that is going to happen when Uhuru Kenyatta himself, during his reign, Sonko was shown the door. So I want us to interrogate that and tell me, do you support Sonko joining the Azimio la Umoja? Kindly subscribe to our channel. And we are finishing this fundraiser tomorrow. Those of us that had reached out, or someone just texted me, and I think had texted me earlier about 2 bags of cement. Yeah, I'm reaching out. I know I can't even remember the name and look for the SMS. And I want to continue saying thank you as we finish to plaster floor to Malize, so that I can also go back. I think I've really exhausted myself on this end. Yeah, I'm already growing old on this end. So kindly, let's support and see. And this is a snippet of what exactly is going on so far. Hi guys, so we want to give you a progress of so far. So hii ndio ile mchanga. Yeah, I told you guys that the mchanga that will be used for the walling is this one here. So we've brought 3, which are the ones that we will use kesho to do. So this is the mchanga. Then this is the progress of the house so far. This is what our day 1 has been. I wanted to get an established shot of it. So what's remaining here ni kuweka hii mchanga in between the walls, the wall, and then the roofing. The mabati, we are also probably running late. We might do mabati tomorrow, and then when we are done with that is when we will do the floor. So you can look at how the floor is. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, and I want us to make it bit better. Yeah, so this is so far what we've done day 1, and yeah, we'll get to this tomorrow. I think we'll just finish up, then we shall also show you so far when we're done. So these are the the other one. Yes, so they're just starting the mabati, so they're bringing it. So tomorrow we'll have full of it. Yeah.